promise to give you a Pilates level 1 class. All you will need is a mat. You do not need any other props for this workout. All I ask is that you please listen to your own body, and if anything ever starts to feel painful, uncomfortable, or even just off, I ask you to modify and use your own knowledge of your body to feel what's best for you. So we're gonna get started on our backs, all the way down on the floor here. And we're gonna start in our neutral pelvis. So that's when we have that nice natural curve of our low back. Our hip flexors are released, our glutes are released, and our arms are down by our sides. You can either have your palms up to the ceiling or down to the floor. I find palms up to the ceiling allows my chest to sink open. It always feels very nice. So let's take an inhale in our neutral position. And then exhale, we're just gonna find our imprint, pulling that belly button down, sliding the hip bones together, sliding the ribs together. Take an inhale, and then exhale, release back to neutral. Let's do this a couple more times. Take an inhale, and exhale, feeling all of those abdominals wrapping around, meeting at the front of your body. Take an inhale, and exhale to release. Let's take 2 more here, and make sure you're not pressing through your feet. So we're really trying to isolate the abdominals here. Inhale and exhale to release. Last time like this, scooping up and in, feeling that belly button pulling to the floor. Take an inhale and exhale to release. Staying in our neutral position, reach those arms up to the ceiling. We're gonna do our protraction and retraction. Let's inhale, reach up to the ceiling, spread the shoulder blades apart, and then exhale, bring the shoulder blades together in the back of the body. And again, inhale, reaching up, and exhale together. 2 more like this. Inhale, and exhale, making sure you're not popping through the ribs, staying connected through the front of the body. Last time, bring the shoulder blades together. And then let's find neutral. Let's do our shoulder shrug here. So inhale, take the shoulders up to the ears, keep the arms straight up to the ceiling. And then exhale, release the shoulders down to the hips. And again, inhale, feel those ribs expanding, helping those shoulders to lift. And exhale, reach them down. Just 2 more here. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. And reaching down, finding neutral through those shoulders, still neutral through our pelvis here. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Exhale, bring them back up to the ceiling and all the way down to your hips. Inhale, feel the backs of the ribs connected to the floor and don't let them come off as the arms reach overhead. And exhale, reach down. So you're really watching for your own range of motion. As soon as you start to feel those ribs pop, that is your range here. Let's do 2 more like this. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Very nice, into our arm circles. So inhale, reach the arms overhead, and exhale, circle the arms around. Inhale, we're still thinking about keeping those ribs closed and connected into the floor. 2 more in this direction. Last one, inhale and exhale. Reach up to the ceiling and then reverse. Reach down to the floor. Inhale, circle the arms, keep the ribs closed. Exhale, take it down and inhale, circle. Last 2 here, reaching down, reaching out through the fingertips. Last time, and circle around. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Let's take that right arm straight out to the side. Spread those fingertips out, reaching out to the side, and then close the arm back to the ceiling. Inhale, reach and spread the fingertips out, and close. And we're really trying to feel this nice length and stretch through the front of the arm, all the way into that chest and that sternum. 2 more here, right and left. Last one. Bring it up, and then let's take both arms out to the side. Reach as long as you can through the fingertips, holding here for a moment. And then release those arms all the way to the sides into a T position. And we're going to start to rock the knees from side to side. You can go at your own pace here, whatever feels best for your own body. And then start to move that head in the opposite direction as the knees. Inhaling and exhaling through, nice and fluid. Very nice. Make yourself even from side to side, and let's bring those knees up to the ceiling. Take those arms back down by your sides. Legs are hip distance apart. We're going to move into our hip rolls. So we start in our neutral pelvis. You're going to take an inhale. And exhale, just find your imprint to start. Feel that belly button pull down, the abdominals wrap around. Then we anchor into our heels, reaching out through the knees. One vertebrae at a time, rolling up. Take an inhale at the top. And exhale, sink that sternum down into the floor as we articulate the rest of the spine back to neutral. Let's do this again. Inhale, exhale. Even though we find our imprint first, it's one smooth movement as we lift that pelvis off of the floor. Take an inhale and exhale, rolling all the way back down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Take an inhale and exhale, roll it up. Each time, trying to make that articulation a little bit smoother. If you're finding any sticky spots, really think about that abdominal connection. Last time here, rolling up. Take an inhale and exhale, roll it all the way down. Very nice. We're going to start with a feet flex movement. So as we're up in that hip roll, our feet are going to flex and then lower back down. So let's take an inhale and then exhale, rolling up. Same idea, smooth articulation through the spine. Reach through the knees, take an inhale. Exhale, lift the toes off the floor to flex the feet, and then set it back down, anchoring into the heels the whole time. And 2 more, lift and lower, and lift. Lower the toes down, roll down through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to neutral. This time we're going to lift the heels. Take an inhale and exhale, roll up through the spine. Open the front of the hips, take an inhale. Exhale, lift both heels up and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more, make sure that pelvis stays lifted. Hips stay open, abs are engaged, both heels down. Roll through the spine and release to neutral. For our last set here, we're going to add the 2 together. So we're going to lift the heels first and then the toes. So let's take an inhale and exhale, rolling up. Your feet are going to slowly walk out away from you, and that is what is supposed to happen. So let's take an inhale, exhale, lift the heels and then lift the toes. And lift the heels. It's going to progressively get a little bit more challenging as the legs walk out. And lift the toes. 1 more. Lift the heels. And lift the toes. Keep the feet where they are. 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll down through the spine. Release to neutral. And let's hug those knees into the chest. Give that low back a chance to spread out here as we take a little rock from side to side. Breathing nice and deep. Good. Let's take those legs back down to the side, and we're going to find our neutral pelvis. We're going to bring our hands behind our head for our chest lift. So we want to try to maintain neutral the whole time. Something to avoid is as we're scooping up, you don't want to press that low back to the floor and tuck that tail underneath you. You want to keep your hip flexors creasing. So let's go ahead, drop those shoulders down, take an inhale to nod the chin. Exhale, close the ribs to lift up off the floor. Take an inhale and exhale, slow and controlled, release back to the floor. Let's do this again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, scoop, looking up at those thighs. Take an inhale and exhale, release down. We're going to do 2 more like this. Inhale, nod, and exhale, scoop. Inhale, stay, and exhale, set it down. Last time, inhale, nod, exhale, scoop. We're going to hold it up here. Take an inhale, and exhale, hold. Inhale, and exhale. 1 more big inhale, And exhale, release it back down to the floor. We're gonna go right into our rotation. So let's take an inhale to nod the chin. Exhale, you're gonna feel one rib crossing over the front of your body to the opposite hip. Take an inhale and exhale, release it all the way back down to the floor. Alternating sides here. Take an inhale, nod, and exhale, scoop. We're still maintaining our neutral. Take an inhale and exhale to release it back down. We're gonna do 2 more sets. Right, left, right, left. Inhale, nod, and exhale, scoop. Inhale, stay, and set it down. Make sure those elbows are staying wide, but they're not gonna be so wide that they open past your peripheral vision here. Inhale and exhale to set it down. 1 more set. Inhale, exhale, make sure those knees aren't rocking to the opposite side. They're staying straight up to the ceiling. Last time, inhale, nod, and exhale, scoop. Inhale and exhale to set it down. Very nice. Take those arms back down by your sides. Take an inhale, exhale, find your imprint. Really connect through the front of the body. So we've got both hip bones in the front of our body sliding together. Our belly button is reaching to the floor, and our ribs are sliding together as well. Arms are down by the sides. Take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to lift one leg off into tabletop. Knee is right over the hip. Take an inhale and exhale to set that leg down. Other side. Inhale and exhale. Scoop it up. Inhale and exhale to set it down. And you want to think about using your abdominals to lift the leg. So we're trying to avoid gripping through the hip flexors here. You're going to think about your femur or your thigh bone sitting in your hip socket. Inhale and exhale, set it down. Let's do 1 more set like this. Scoop the leg up. Nice big inhale and exhale to set it down. Last time, scoop the left leg up. Inhale and exhale, set it down. Now we're going to bring both legs up. You can do them one at a time, right, and then left, and we're going to do our alternating toe taps. So tap one toe down to the floor and scoop it back up, and then the other leg taps and scoop it up. And if that toe doesn't reach all the way down to the floor, that is totally fine. You want to maintain your imprint and maintain control over this position and this movement. Exhale to take the leg down. Inhale to bring it up. Tap and reach. Just 4 more here. Scoop it back up. Really use that idea of belly button down to the floor. Last 2 here. And last 1. Set the right leg down, set the left leg down, and release to neutral. Let's rock the knees again. Open the arms out to the side, and rock those knees from side to side, taking the head in the opposite direction. Getting some nice movement through that low back. Breathing nice and deep. Good. We're going to take this all the way onto our side. We've got our bottom arm underneath our head. If you would like to grab something for underneath your head, like a cushion or a towel, feel free to pause the video and go grab that. We've got our heels in line with our hips, in line with our shoulders, and our knees are bent. We're going to reach this top side really long. So imagine you have a balloon underneath your bottom rib and on top of your top hip. So it's constantly expanding, so at no point can you pop that balloon. We've got our top arm reaching forward. You're going to take an inhale, reach it up to the ceiling. Exhale, open back. Allow the eyes to follow the hand as much as they can. Inhale and exhale to close that arm back to the front. Let's do this again. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to open back, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale to close. 2 more like this. As you inhale and exhale, open. Press both knees down into the floor. That's going to help keep the hips stacked and increase your range of motion here, and also make it more even through your entire spine. Last time. Inhale and exhale to close. Kickstand that top arm, or just find a comfortable position for it. You're going to take an inhale and exhale into your clamshell. So that top knee is going to rotate up to the ceiling. and then lower back down. Exhale to rotate and down. Very important to keep the hips stacked. So we're not allowing this top hip to roll back. We're pulling it forward with our obliques against the rotation of the knee. Really important to keep that movement within the hip socket here. Last two like this. Last one, then you're going to keep the knees together and you're going to take the top foot up to the ceiling and then lower it back down. Exhale to rotate and down. Good. Feet will separate here. That's going to help with your range of motion. Last four, exhale. Keep that space in your top side. Don't allow it to crunch. Last two. And then last one. All right, we're going to take that top leg and extend it out long. You're going to keep your bottom knee bent. You're going to tap the foot down to the floor and then bring it back up. And you're going to try to get the inside of the ankle down rather than just the toes. So again, it helps with range of motion here. And tap, and lift, and tap. You've got four more like this. Toes can either be pointed or flexed. Making sure that knee stays straight forward and parallel so there's no rotation happening through the hip. Lift that leg up to hip height, flex the foot, and we're going to circle for 1 and 2, 3, 4. Keep those abs engaged so the upper body and the hips aren't moving. And then let's reverse the circle. Press the bottom knee into the floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to bend that knee in. And then we're going to do some bent knee lift and lower and then into some circles. So the whole top leg is going to lift up and back down. This is also called a fire hydrant. Keeping the foot and the knee in the same plane. And again, it stays parallel the whole time, so there's no rotation through the leg. We've got 4 more like this. And 3, keep breathing. And 2. Last one, lift that leg up, keep it up there and circle around for 2, making sure the knee is staying in the bent position. You're circling the thigh bone in the hip socket. And reverse the circle, again, staying right in parallel, no rotation through the hip. And 3, and 2, and 1. Set that leg down, very nice work. Let's roll onto our back. Remembering what leg was on top or what leg was your working leg, you're going to cross that ankle over your bottom knee. This is a figure 4 stretch here. If you would like a more intense stretch, you can grab behind the knee, in front of the knee, or just on that shin, bringing that shape closer to your sternum. You can also just leave it on the floor. There is also the option to take this into a rock from side to side to get different portions of the muscle here. Just finding whatever stretch works best for you and feels best in your own body. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here, channeling all of that breath, all of that stretch down into that glute muscle. 1 more. On this exhale, go ahead and release that stretch, and let's roll over for the other side. If you used any head pads, go ahead and flip those over as well, or just using that bottom arm. We've got our knees bent to start, both. Heels, hips, shoulders all in a line with the back of the head here, so making sure that head isn't pitched forward. And we've got that nice balloon in our top side that's expanding, expanding, expanding. Top arm reaches forward. Take an inhale, eyes follow the hand again just as much as it can as you open back. Take an inhale and exhale to close. And again, inhale, reach through the fingertips. And exhale, press the knees into the floor. Keep those hips stacked. Inhale and exhale to close. 2 more like this. Inhale and exhale, keeping those abdominals engaged, because when you want to bring that arm back up to the ceiling, that's going to help and support that arm. Last time, inhale and exhale to open. And inhale and exhale to close. Go ahead and kickstand that top arm or find a comfortable position for it. We're going to start with our clamshells. So take an inhale, exhale, and rotate that top knee up to the ceiling and bring it back down. Abdominals are engaged, belly button to the spine. Top side is still expanding here. And we've got 4 more. Again, working within the hip socket. Not allowing that top hip to rock back. Last 2. And then last 1. Right into our internal rotation. Keep the knees together. Lift the top foot up to the ceiling. And then set it down. Exhale to rotate. Keep that balloon and keep those abs on. Not allowing this hip to rock forward. 4 more like this. And 3. And 2. And last 1. Set that leg down. Extend that top leg out, but keep the bottom knee bent. You're going to tap the inside of the ankle to the floor and bring it back up. And tap. And if it doesn't reach all the way to the floor, that is totally fine. We're just trying to avoid those toes angling down to the floor here. 4 more like this. And also, it really helps with that range of motion. It gives you some extra room to lower. Last 1, lift the leg up, flex the foot, and we circle around for 1. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then reverse. 8, 7, abs are on, not moving the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee in, and we've got our bent knee lift and lower to start here. So take an inhale, exhale, lift the whole top leg up. Don't rotate it up or in, and set it down. Exhale to rotate and down. Sorry, not rotate, lift straight up and lift. Good, we've got 4 more like this. And 3 and 2. Last one here, lift that leg up, and now we've got our circles. Don't change the bend in the knee, just move that femur around in the hip joint. And for creasing at the hip, not tucking that pelvis underneath you. And then reverse, we have our last 8 and 7. Keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that leg down. Roll onto your back. And let's stretch it out. So remembering what leg was your top leg or your working leg, crossing that ankle over the bottom knee. And again, if you want to bring this shape into your chest, grabbing onto your shin, behind the knee or in front of the knee, you can do that. You can leave it on the floor and then take it from side to side. Getting different portions of the muscle here. Making sure you take really deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, channeling that breath into your glute. And let's take a couple more deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Very nice. And let's go ahead and come into a seated position. We're going to do some half roll backs. So we've got our legs out in front of us, but they're going to start bent. And you want them to be a little bit closer to your body than we will want eventually, but we want to have our hands connected to our knees for now. Starting as tall as you can, you're going to take an inhale, and then exhale, you're going to curl your pelvis underneath and pull your belly button down to the floor. Continue this nice curve all the way out through the crown of your head. Still holding onto those knees, releasing through the hip flexors. Take an inhale, drop the shoulders down. Exhale, take that shape over your legs, find your sit bones, and then tail to head, stack up your spine. Take an inhale and exhale again, holding onto those knees, giving yourself some leverage as you curl back. Take an inhale. Feel your belly button hooking all the way up and in, off and over your legs. tail to head, stack it up. Let's do one more like that. Take an inhale, and exhale, scooping down, closing those ribs. Take an inhale, exhale over the legs, and stack up the spine. Now we're gonna make it a little bit more challenging. We're gonna reach those arms straight out in front of us, and you can extend those legs out if that helps to get your spine more straight here. Take an inhale, and exhale, same idea, scoop that belly button down. Find that nice curve all the way through your spine, through the crown of your head. Take an inhale, exhale, take it over your legs, and tail to head, stack it up. Take an inhale, exhale, scooping down. Still trying to avoid any tension through the hip flexors. Take an inhale, drop the shoulders down. Exhale, scoop it up and over, and stack up the spine. If at any point you really feel your hip flexors gripping, go ahead and go back to this preparation here with the hands on the knees. We're gonna do two more like this. Inhale and exhale, scooping down. Take an inhale, exhale, feel that belly button hooking up and in to bring you over. Stack up the spine. Last time we're gonna make it a little bit more challenging. Take an inhale and exhale, rolling down. Take an inhale, exhale, lift one arm overhead and lower it back down. Other side, lift and lower and lift and lower and lift. We've got two more here. Last one, take it front, take an inhale, hold, exhale, belly button brings you up and over, and stack up the spine. Very nice. This time we're gonna roll all the way down to the floor, and then we're gonna go into our roll up. Take an inhale, and exhale, nice and controlled, rolling through that same position we just had, and then taking it all the way down to the floor, releasing those arms up to the ceiling, and go ahead and straighten out those legs. If you know that this is a challenging exercise for you, you can just continue with those half rollbacks we did, challenging yourself with those arm lifts. If you're ready for the full roll up here, take those arms overhead, keep those ribs closed in the front of the body. Bring the arms up to the ceiling, nod the chin, one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way up and over the legs. Find those sit bones again, tail to head, stack up the spine, and then rolling all the way back down, nice and controlled. Belly button finds the floor first, then the backs of the ribs, then the shoulders, then the head. Release the arms. Let's do this again. Inhale the arms up, nod the chin, scooping up and in with the belly button, reaching out through those feet, through those heels, tail to head, stack it up. And exhale, rolling all the way back down, releasing those arms. We're gonna do this twice more. Again, if you're having a little bit of trouble not using momentum, feel free to go back to those half rollbacks. Rolling down, it's always good to challenge yourself if it feels okay through your body. Just one more here, nod the chin, scooping up, reaching over, tail to head, stack it up. One more, make sure you're controlling all the way back down to the floor. And release those arms all the way overhead, down to the floor. Take a couple deep breaths here. Really allowing the ribs to expand, not worrying about the shoulders, releasing any tension through the neck. All right, and let's go ahead and flip over onto our stomachs, and we're gonna do some extension. All right, so we're gonna start with our arms in a goal post position. So that means elbows are right out to the side and hands are right at a 90 to the upper arm. So we've got our legs nice and wide here so our pelvis can be nice and long in the front. And we've got all 3 points of our pelvis pressing evenly into the floor, our 2 hip bones and our pubic bone. We've got our belly button scooping up to the ceiling and our ribs connecting together. On your inhale, you're going to press your palms, press your elbows into the floor and lift your sternum forward. And then exhale, you're going to release back down to the floor. And again, inhale, lifting up, reaching out through the crown of the head. And exhale to set it down. 2 more like this. As you lift up, make sure we're not crunching the back of the neck here. It's staying in line with the spine. Last time, inhale, lifting up. We're going to hold it here for a moment. You're going to turn your head to the right and turn your head to the left. Just make sure you can be nice and loose here from side to side. And let's find center and release it down. Take those arms long by your sides, palms are facing you. And for now, just slump those shoulders forward and really feel the release through the back, through the chest. And then on your inhale, you're going to roll the shoulders onto the back, cover the arms off, and lift the sternum forward. And exhale, release it all the way back down. Release those shoulders forward. Inhale, make sure you're not retracting the shoulders here. We're just on the back, so there's no tension. Exhale to release it down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and take those hands underneath the forehead. And in this position, it's really easy for those shoulders to just slide up to the ears. So really think about reaching the shoulders down like there's a balloon this time in between the earlobe and your shoulder. And it's constantly expanding. And again, you don't want to pop that balloon by bringing the shoulders up. Let's go ahead and take an inhale, press the pelvis, the belly button up. Keep the hands connected as you lift the sternum off the floor. And exhale to set it down. Really trying to keep the tops of the feet anchored into the floor and not lifting up. Let's take another one. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale to set it down. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. And go ahead and set it down. Take those hands out to the side and go ahead and sit back onto your heels for a shell stretch, rounding that spine forward. Resting the head down, releasing the back of the neck. While we're here, let's walk our hands over to the right side of our mat and sink your hips down to the left. So you're feeling a really nice stretch down the left side of your body. And every inhale expands the ribs, and you're stretching between every pair of ribs here. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands through center to the left side. Sink your hips down to the right. This time we feel the stretch down through the right side of the body. Between every pair of ribs here. Really release through the hips as well. Sometimes it's easy to hold tension. Making sure every exhale releasing further. 1 more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to center. Take an inhale, exhale, roll up through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to come to all fours. So we have our hands and our knees. If your knees feel uncomfortable or painful in this position, you can always stand up and bring your hands to the back of a chair or even just onto the wall works as well here. We're going to do a couple cat stretches. Let's take an inhale, exhale. I want you to feel the abdominals between your hip bones, sliding together first to tuck the tail, then the belly button scoops up to the ceiling. Ribs come together, drop the head. Take an inhale, exhale. Start at that tailbone. Even though we're releasing back to neutral, our abdominals stay engaged. Let's take another one here. Inhale, exhale. Hip bones slide together. Belly button scoops up. Connect the ribs. Release the head. Take an inhale, exhale, tail to head, take it back out. Just gonna do 1 more here. Really making sure our abdominals are connected. Take an inhale, exhale. Keep this connection as you release back to neutral. Now that we're really connected here, we're gonna take our opposite arm and leg reaches. Let's start with our right leg and our left arm. You're gonna reach them long on the floor on your inhale. Exhale, you're gonna lift them up. Inhale, you're going to reach them longer, and then exhale, return everything back down to the floor, alternating sides here. Inhale, reach it out. You're going to think about lifting your arm, your leg, and your belly button up to the ceiling. Inhale to reach longer and exhale to bring it in. Just keep alternating sides here. Inhale and exhale. Think about lifting the back of the thigh so there's no bend in that knee. Reach and bring it in. Reach it out. Scoop it up. Reach it longer. We're going to do 2 more sets like this, making sure the supporting shoulder is really engaged and you're not just sinking down to the floor here. Reach it out. Scoop it up. Keeping the hips and the pelvis level. 1 more. Reach it out. Lift it up. We're going to stay on this side. Right leg, left arm taps to the floor. And lift it up. And tap. And lift. So we're staying on this side, working on some endurance, not only through the working side, but through the stability of the hand and the arm and the shoulder still on the floor. Just 2 more here. Lift. Last one. Bring it back in. Let's do that on the other side. Really press that palm into the floor as we lift the other off. And we lift it up and tap and lift. Making sure that the pelvis stays level. So if you have a teacup resting on the back of your pelvis, it's not going to spill and it's not going to tip over. And 3 more here. Last 2. Last 1. Bring everything back in and take another shell stretch onto those heels, releasing down to the floor. If it feels okay on the head and on the shoulders, you can turn your head to one side and bring your arms down by your legs so you can really release those shoulders forward. Breathing nice and deep here. And let's turn the head to the other side so we can be nice and even. 2 deep breaths. 1 more. And bring those hands back out in front of you. You can use them to help stack up your spine. And we're going to come onto our backs again. And we're going to do our 100 before we do some nice stretches here. All right, so we're all the way on our backs. And I'll run through some variations before we get started. You can keep your feet on the floor and just lift your sternum up into your chest lift position we found at the beginning of class. You can also, in your imprint, bring your legs up into tabletop. You can find your chest lift here, or you can keep your head down and just pulse the arms for your 100. So really try to listen to your body. You can always set that head down throughout if you need to, if your neck starts to feel particularly tense. So, choosing your own variation here. Let's take an inhale and then an exhale. Find your imprint. If you are lifting the legs up, let's go ahead and take them into your tabletop. As we're going through, make sure the knees stay right over the hips and they don't start to collapse down into your chest. And make sure the legs don't start to extend or bend. You want to keep those knees at a 90-degree angle. Let's take an inhale to nod the chin. Exhale, if you are lifting your sternum up, go ahead and lift it up and let's pulse the arms and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. You can also take one hand behind the head if you want to keep the sternum up. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. 2 more sets. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold it and set it down. Hug the knees into the chest. Release the head down. Breathe nice and deep here. Release through the shoulders. Release through the hip flexors. Keep the knees in center and just take that head from side to side. Release the neck. Very nice. Bring that head back into center And let's take those legs down to the floor, and we're gonna find our neutral pelvis. Arms can be down by your sides, they can be out in a T position, they can be resting on your hips, wherever they feel most comfortable. We're gonna do our hip release. So we've got both of our hip bones and our opposite knee going straight up to the ceiling. And we're gonna open the right knee out to the side, and you're gonna extend it long on the floor. You're gonna rotate it up to the ceiling, and then drag it in. And open, and extend, and rotate, and bring it in. This is really nice to do after a class when you're warm, so you can really work on this rotation because your abdominals are nice and stable and your hips are already a little bit loose. Let's go ahead and reverse. Extend it first, rotate it out to the side, drag it back in, and bring it up to the ceiling. And this direction is a little bit more challenging to stabilize the pelvis, so sometimes you need to really control the range of motion to make sure both of those hip bones stay going straight up to the ceiling. One more here, and rotate, bring it in. And then let's do this on the other side. Open out, and extend, rotate it up, and drag it in. And again, if you want to bring your hands to your pelvis, sometimes that can give you some nice feedback so you're not having to crunch your neck up to the ceiling to look down at your hips. One more in this direction, open, using those obliques. And then let's reverse, extend it first, rotate, drag it in, and bring it up. Remembering to control that range of motion if you need to, especially if you're feeling that opposite knee start to open out to the side. Last time, extend and rotate, bring it in and bring it back up to the ceiling. Very nice. Let's come into a seated position and we're gonna find our mermaid legs. So that's one shin out to the side and the other shin going forward with that front foot connected to the knee. If this is too much on your knees or your hips, you can come to a cross-legged position or your legs can be out in front of you. Lots of options here. We're gonna start by going over to the right side or over towards our feet. So take an inhale up and exhale to reach it over. Inhale to bring it up and exhale to the other side. Nice big inhale. Make sure you're lengthening your spine up to the ceiling every time you pass through that center position. We've got one more set here, up and over. And then this time we're gonna set that elbow down to the floor. You can stay up on that hand if you feel like you need to. And then rotate that sternum down to the floor. Feel that nice stretch down through that side. Breathing in and out. On your next exhale, scoop that belly button up to find your side bend and come all the way up. And let's flip those legs over for the other side. All right. If you were sitting in a cross-legged position, try to switch the cross if your brain can figure that out, or you can keep the legs out in front. Let's take an inhale over, exhale, reaching. Inhale to bring it up and exhale to the other side. Really trying to release any tension through the hips. We just did that really nice hip release. Inhale and exhale. Last set here. Inhale, exhale, over. Inhale, exhale, setting that elbow down. Rotating that sternum down to the floor. Or staying up on that hand if you need to. One more deep breath here. And then on your next exhale, scoop that belly button up first to find your side bend and come all the way up. Let's take our legs out in front of us. If they need to be slightly bent, that is totally fine. We're going to start with some rotation. So reach those arms out to the side, really activate those legs. So pull those kneecaps up, reach out through the heels, growing longer through the spine. We're gonna rotate to the right first. So you're gonna rotate one, go further, and then find center. And we're gonna take our inhale as we rotate. And find center. That's really gonna help growing longer, longer, longer. Just make sure that doesn't mean it's going shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. So still dropping down the back. 2 more here. And center. Last time, inhale, inhale, inhale. And center. Take the arms down by the legs and they're just gonna glide as we roll forward. So nod the chin, rolling all the way down, reaching for the ankles, dropping the head. Take an inhale and exhale, rolling up through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. And again, nod the chin, rolling down. While we're down here, make sure the shoulders are releasing. Give that head a little shake and a little nod. Take an inhale and exhale to roll it up. 1 more like this, nod the chin, take it down. Take an inhale and exhale, roll it up. We're gonna take both hands over to the right leg and do the same thing. So nod the chin, sliding down the right leg. A little bit more attention to that right side, especially on the outside line. Take an inhale and exhale to stack it up. And again, nod the chin, reaching forward. If you ever want to hold down there for a little bit, feel free to do that. Stack it up. We've got 1 more here. Nod the chin, take it down. Inhale and exhale, stack it up. And hands go over to the left leg and we roll down here. Again, really trying to release the shoulders, release the neck. And stack it up. And rolling down. Really trying to release that head down to the knee. No tension through the neck, no tension through the shoulders. Last time here. Nod the chin, take it down. And roll it up. And then we have 1 more in center, 1 hand on either leg. Nod the chin, take it down. And then we're going to hold it down here for a few deep breaths. Thinking about scooping that belly button behind you to spread out the low back. 1 more inhale. And exhale, stack up the spine. All right, and there you have it, a full-length Pilates Level 1 class just with your mat. Thank you so much for joining me today. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell so that you get notifications every time we publish a new video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.